Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Glowpearls Conclave. Their ongoing mission to find new life, intelligence hopefully, to find their place amongst the stars. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Glowpearls Conclave. Man, I'm always doing this, no script at all whatsoever. I just see whatever goes on. But it's actually been nearly a week since I last recorded, and I ran out of stockpile. But if I last remember correctly, we'd finished yet another war, got our planet of Ramus back. We're currently in the process of fixing this broken world. No longer are they misguided by the seaweed. They are now listening to reasoning, as they are currently trying to find their place amongst our empire yet again. Now, a lot of our people were saved from slavery, and a lot of our people are also recently conquered. So everybody has mixed feelings. The seaweed is very unhappy, whereas our people, the seaweed from their rebellion, have finally been fixed and calmed. We have a lot of fixing to do. We've got unemployment. Perhaps I do need to open up a clerk job. Well, the issue with that's not going to fix our amenities problem. Do we need to... Luxury goods, immigration pool, maybe? I mean, increased amenities. How much do I make? 14. So that'd be an additional 3, which would make pretty much everybody happy enough. And that would definitely give us enough time to fix the issue, and we can also have improved, everything just improved in the time being. So I'm gonna go ahead. Does not have the luxuries distributed modifier. Oh, they've already done it. Wow. Turns out they've already done so. Well, we're currently in the middle of terraforming our planets here in the Jinkath system. We're trying to make it actually habitable as an ocean world. There's actually should be another tab somewhere over here. Expansion Planner. Surveyed. Terraforming candidate. In the Fuway system. All the way over here, we do have a candidate. Not you. You're a barren world. That's not you either. Fuway 2, however, is a barren world that can be terraformed. You can afford 10,000 energy credits. Oh boy, that is something we're going to want to do. I definitely need more exotic gases, which actually we're in the process of getting. So I have here on the way over there, here on the way over there, and if I also last remembered, we really want to try to make the Moravians part of our federation that we're going to try to form. In order to do that, we are going to need to offer trade deals and get some favors, which is currently pretty darn expensive. Let's see if I can just use minerals. Kind of can. There we go. I can try to make it as exact as possible. We're going to get at least one favor. In the meantime...
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Ooh! Fantastic! I do need to buy more consumer goods. Yeah, we're going to go and buy those. We're buying a lot of alloys. We can go ahead and cancel that and fix our energy credits. And when it comes to our star bases, do all of them have hydroponics bay? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. No. So we're gonna upgrade you. Yes. Yes, and yes. So that's going to be our last one. But what we just finished here is the technology of the Galactic Administration, which gives us access to a brand new civic point, allowing us to boost our empire in a brand new way and set ourselves in a new direction. We're also pretty much capped on influence, so we shouldn't be afraid about spending any. The administrative needs of a star empire are as numerous as they are complex. We will rise to the occasion. Now, before I forget, I need to set a timer for about another 24 minutes, because I have already forgotten. Yeah, we're not going to be watching things about Yoshi right now. We're gonna set a 24-minute timer, so that way we have a good stopping place. However, before I... Oh, normally this excites me, but I don't know if it's really appropriate for this current run. Now, the Glowpearls, they haven't really decided on a specific Unity direction, whereas we could ascend to evolve our genetics in new possible ways. We could say the flesh is weak, but as we are a faithful empire going into some sort of cyborg empires, not really what we're looking for. Or last but not least, we have mind over matter, where we can make our empire psionic, which could lead to some pretty powerful tradition trees as well. Now, my main empire, I'm typically psionic, so I don't know if I really want to just do the exact same thing for the Glowpearls, but this technology right over here, the psionic theory, is a prerequisite, and it's generally hard to get. Now, empire size from pops, we're actually getting most of ours from population anyways, so we could improve our empire with psionic theory. Anywho, we're getting close to the point where we may need to consider picking up ocean ecology. Epigenetic triggers to uplift other species may be useful, or ceramo-metal infrastructure to build up our colonies even faster and improve our habitats that we have no idea exist yet. Really kind of want to go with psionic theory, because it'll also help with my technology cost and tradition cost just a little bit. Now, it's not a huge deal, but it at least opens up the possibility. Since this one is a rare technology and really hard to get, I'm going to go ahead and pick up that psionic theory. Now, when it comes to civic points, we're going to be reforming the entire Glowpearl Pious Conclave government. Reforming the government, we have our slaver guilds, where our slaves produce even more output, which in this case is our seaweed, and the enslaved ratio is greatly reduced, so that way we're not overrun by slaves. Exalted priesthood makes all of our priests that much better, and for unity, but we haven't really been able to benefit from the exalted priesthood that much. I may, however, really want to find something to synergize with it to improve our unit production even more, or we could also try to improve our science by a lot. So we have Vaults of Knowledge. Leaders start at +1 level. That can be nice. Can build unique Vaults of Knowledge. They produce Unity, increased leader experience gain based on destiny traits acquired, which is currently none. Leader upkeep and leader cost is reduced. Effective counselor skills also improved by 1. Or selective kinship. What is this? In an uncertain universe, only kin can be trusted. This civilization is selective about the species it defines as equal. Opinion of empires for shared species is improved, and anybody with a different species. That's amazing. Oh, this must be part of the new 3.9 update. That is amazing. This is really cool. Pops of our species have full citizenship, whereas other pops are not allowed to have full citizenship at all. Citizen happiness while sharing planets with the same species is increased, and citizen happiness while oppressing the other species is increased as well. Maybe. I don't think that's quite what we're looking for. Reanimators, no. Police state, no. Mutagenic spas, no. Meritocracy. I'm going to skip mining guilds. That's not really what we're looking for. Specialist output, heroic past, leader starting traits +1. See, this is not really one you want to start with, but as we're getting to the point where we're actually re-rolling all of our leaders, this is probably a really good idea to have stronger leaders, as we're going to have to start re-rolling everything. Bureaucracy, Crusader Spirit, Ascensionists, own planets gain +1 Ascension team. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go with Heroic Past. And we need a lot more unity. So when we're at 1700, we're going to go ahead and reform our government. I thought it took influence, but apparently not. So what else can we use our influence for? Claims. We're definitely going to need to get a lot more claims. Now, we can't make any more claims on the Chlorvarians. I'm still pronouncing their name wrong. But we can go ahead and our neighbors who have a lot of systems nearby. 1, 2, 3, 3. We can spend 500 in order to just claim nearby systems, just to say, hey, you know, we may be considering those in the near future. Don't read between the lines, please. Ocean World. Ooh, you're about to level up. But what can level up over here? Oh, I'm lacking minerals. Oh, it requires 2,000? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and buy a couple then, and we'll upgrade the capital on our whole system. Perfect. And last but not least, well, we're not going to worry about those civic points at all. So what else are we looking to do? We really want... Aha! The trade deal was accepted. The Moravians now owe us a favor, which we can cash in pretty much at any point. Offer a migration treaty could be useful. It would help improve relations between our empires. They feel like they're partially threatened. Interesting. Let's see. But if I form a defensive pact, form federation, if I put in a favor, that fixes 5 points. You definitely don't want a hegemony, which I do. So I really need to improve relations between us a lot. So let's go ahead and form that migration treaty between our empires. Speaking of forging a better relationship with you, what about the Asperians, who are also overwhelming? Have an overwhelming fleet compared to us. Migration treaty, yes, it will cost us barely any influence. Guarantee independence. I would love your overlord or somebody else. Yes, I'll guarantee your independence. And let's also improve our relations between our empires as well. Now the Avarians, these ruthless capitalists who are also overwhelming, so we're definitely going to need to invest a lot more into our military. Yet again. I was really hoping to be done with that. Apparently, that's not good enough. So let's go ahead and push F1. Ship designer. Frigates. Because we got the torpedoes, we now have access to frigates. Let's see, plasma accelerators, that's perfect. A little bit of shield, I guess, is always fine. But I'm not going to worry about that. Ship range, fire rate is increased. Charge straight at enemies in strafing runs. Yes, we're going to have torpedo tactics. That is perfect. I'm going to reduce the fusion power. doesn't really matter on upkeep. The other tricky thing is the fact that it's going to cost us... Oh, but we're actually producing enough exotic gases now, so we'll be fine. So we're going to go ahead and save the design of frigates. Destroyers. You're fine. Yeah, you're all fine. Yeah. Perfect. I do need to get improved deflectors, because even though I'm okay focusing on shields, but all our other enemies have to do is build one type of weapon, and they absolutely destroy us, and that's never good. So how are we doing on physics research? 4 months left. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and finish that up. Migration Treaty was accepted. Migration Treaty was accepted. Rovians and the Ausparians. Oh, and the Ausparians are happy with us guaranteeing independence. That is fantastic when it comes to diplomacy. The Decepticons. You guys are just superior in nearly every way. You're a subsidiary to the Ausparians. Now, the thing I do also have to keep in mind is that all of these empires are running at full force as we are now in in-game years for the way I set up this empire. Well, the map. It's going to make it very difficult for me to catch back up, but if I was better at this and had a lot more experience, we'd probably be fine. Now, let's go ahead and check these planets, and why are we suddenly at 85% habitability? Colonize. Ah, you have other species on your worlds. So, we also have access to the Kazams and the Andaris. The Andaris are cybernetic, they're docile, conformists, and natural engineers, but they are weak and they breed really slowly. Whereas the Kazam are quite adaptive, they're fast learners and strong, but they don't like migrating very much and they demand a lot of land. So we do have options. We don't immediately have to focus fully on the ocean worlds. Ooh, and the Ausparians are actually aquatic. They're forced. They're underwater parrots. Oh, that's amazing. But now we have access to a lot more different kinds of species. I do want to try to make all of my worlds ocean worlds to have a lot of seaweed on my worlds as well. Because I think I'm okay with having a lot of populations, but I do want all of my worlds to be habitable by seaweed. Because the seaweed are the ones that produce all of the resources. So, the last thing we're going to go ahead and do is toggle species. We're going to set the default rights. Citizenship, everything else is going to be enslaved. Slavery type, indentured servitude. Be employed as a worker or specialist, but retain more political power than other slaves. They cannot work as entertainers or soldier jobs. Slavery-based production. I really want all these other species to immediately be considered as slaves. Because we're fanatical spiritualists. We're authoritative, but we're not here to enslave the entire galaxy. We're here to bring peace and tranquility. Through an iron fist. So, default rights. We could have them just be simple residents, but then they're unhappy. But they don't require as many amenities. If I make them as indentured servants, they have a lot more political power. Battle thralls, domestic servitude, are domestic servants that are not holding other job will be employed as servants, increasing amenities. Interesting. Or chattel, increased resource production, but cannot be employed in specialist jobs. Ooh. You know what? We need to check our seaweed. Set rights. Perfect. You are chattel slavery. That's exactly what I need you to do. Military service is soldiers only. Excellent. You are all in decent condition. Let's see. Unemployed pops have reduced happiness. Unemployed pops have reduced happiness. Workers have a 0.05 upkeep, 0.05 upkeep. political power of workers. They're never going to be specialists. Basic subsistence in order to reduce their political power even further. Oh, I think that's going to hurt my unity a little bit. I think that's going to be just fine, because I really want my other species to be better off on all of my planets. But for default rights, I think I'm okay with them being allowed as residents. But indentured servitude, if they do end up as slaves. Colonization's allowed. They are allowed full military service and decent living conditions, because they can have better jobs. Yeah. Ooh, social welfare. That's a thing for me to consider. That is very expensive when it comes to consumer goods, which, because I'm actually trying to have a lot of alloys, I can't really afford right now. So, workers and slaves have reduced happiness. I think just decent conditions is good enough. Perfect. I think that's gonna be just fine as we let the new species.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
And with that, we have finally finished Deflectors by researching it off of the debris of our enemies. And we can probably be working on the next tier as well. That is beautiful.
The spirits have granted us
And with that, we've also
wisdom.
then researched advanced combat roles. Cloaking fields. Oh, now this is fantastic technology. This will allow us to basic reconnaissance and a cloaking field generator. It will allow us to cloak our ships. Since we don't really have strong shields, I think having a cloaking empire is actually called for at this moment. Our leader is leveled up. Glowpearls. Ooh. Species minimal habitability plus 35%. Or we can give you a new veteran trait as a mind focus to improve the minerals on the planet you're on. Or terraforming speed. The planet effects plus 30%. Well, actually, that doesn't really matter much. It doesn't matter quite as much because we don't have that technology to terraform our planets. Species minimal habitability. Well, you know what? We'll go with cartographer in case we do get that technology. So I would love to have the technology to just terraform my planets as I see fit. Oh man, consumer goods is hurting really bad right now. Well as food. Food is not in the best of instances. We do have available leaders. Let's go ahead and assign an envoy right over here. Marek Kushun, go ahead and investigate the other aliens for us, please. The other thing about the cloaking technology is it will allow us to seal our enemies by just cloaking into their territory. Research agreement proposal. Ooh, between two empires, I don't want to have
Debris analyzed.
Shields and antimatter missiles. Ooh, first contact. Fantastic. Continue to learn about the other aliens. Oh. Alright, so. Right over here in Remus, I had switched you to a forge world. I think that's currently not appropriate. Auto-designated is not going to work. We need you to go ahead and just be an industrial world. Or, better yet, you're supposed to be a science? No, you're not supposed to be a science. We're going to go ahead and just switch you over to industrial world. And Durbatar, right, Durbatar. our gargantuan pearl. You're a technology world. Let's go ahead and lock that in so it doesn't accidentally swap them. You are an industrial world. Gene clinics, you're doing just fine. You're over here in Corvale Prime. You're also set as a technology world. Does that matter to me? Or are you actually supposed to improve to mineral output? Ramis. Oh, Ramis is supposed to be my mining world. Right. That is right. You know what? Let's go ahead and switch you over to... So that way I know which world you're supposed to be, a mining world. So that way I always know right over there. And then we can consider moving Quillaminder over to Ramis when it is appropriate. Which hopefully is not going to be too far from now.
Construction complete.
Ooh.
Construction complete.
1, 2, 3. Alright, so you finished constructing our exotic gases mining station. That is fantastic. I don't think there's really much else that you can construct, so go ahead and continue. Rivals are being established everywhere. We've got rivals between the Ausparians and the Avarian partnership. Quillaminder, the Decadence governor, has been caught embezzling. This has been going on for quite some time, and he has stashed his wealth not just in bank accounts, but also in underground vaults and deep space deposits all around the galaxy. In face of the charges, he threw himself to the ground, swearing that all of these items were intended as gifts for the ruler. The worm. So, Quillaminder, mind you, we go to our leaders. This guy, he's considered as cruel. We're gonna get a lot of energy credits. Oh my gosh, 27,000. 50 minor artifacts. And he gains the embezzler trait, where we're losing even more energy credits over time. Oh my goodness. That is unfortunate. However, he's not one of our governors, so we're still perfectly fine on that. That's actually not too bad, because what this allows us to do is go to Faway, all the way over to here, and allows us to terraform to an ocean world. But we do not have climate restoration. How unfortunate. Well, what I would like to do is we're going to go ahead and terraform you into an ocean world. We're going to terraform you into an ocean. Oh, forget if we lose the asteroid belt, we terraform. This would be a really good mining world. If I go ahead and just go for Tregula's Cross and make it a really powerful mining world, colonize, and just put down the Andaris. Oh, but then the seaweed can't really build up there. Tell you what, we're gonna go ahead. This may be a mistake. This is something I should know, but sadly I do not. But we're gonna go ahead and just start terraforming. Oh, you also need climate restoration. And we're gonna try to terraform the Savannah world that has the Sapiens. Can I? Oh, but would it kill them? Let's not. Let's try to uplift them and see what we can do with that. Alrighty, well sadly, I think that is about time for this episode. Not too much got to happen, but we're getting our footings back. And we do need to get ready for another world war against the Glowpearls. They're currently equivalent to us in military power. I'd like to get that fixed so that way next time we can absolutely destroy them in the next upcoming war. But they are currently stronger than we are, especially if we're not able to get those stronger shields. Those stronger shields going right up here, Corvettes. We're only at tier 2. Yeah, these shields are not going to be good enough. Alright, well, we're going to have to figure something out, but that'll be for the next episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you all are enjoying it. And we'll see you in the next episode.